Um, since when can you do that? So we get our first Spike episode of the season, and depending on how you feel about Spike episodes, this fact can either fill you with happiness or dread. For me, it was a mix of both. Spike episodes have been a mixed bag for me. For every inspiration manifestation, there's an owl's well that ends well. So I wasn't sure how this episode was going to turn out, but now that I've seen it, well, let's just get on to the review. So what's good? I think the main strength of this episode for me was the setting. I always enjoy when MLP explores areas of Equestria and beyond that we aren't familiar with, and while this episode doesn't quite do that, a summit where ponies and other beings from across the country gather together is the next best thing. I enjoyed seeing the various delegates and how they interact with other characters, and it gives a deeper understanding of how the country works. I also really enjoyed the role that Cadence played here, as there are quite a few scenes with her. With Twilight out of the picture, it's Cadence that serves as the voice of reason, and it's great to see her utilized well in the story. Now we just need an episode where she's a starring character. Some of the humor in this episode was a nice touch too, and I got a good chuckle here and there, but I'm sure some of you noticed that I haven't mentioned Spike at all. Well, there's a reason for that, which leads to the not so good. The main weakness of this episode was that everything about it was interesting, except the character that it was about. I couldn't find a single reason to care about Spike and what he was going through, because everything that was going on outside of his main conflict was more interesting. It's one thing to not care about a character when they play a supporting role, or a minor role, but when they're supposed to be the main focus of the episode, the one you're supposed to care about because that's who the main conflict revolves around, then that's a major problem. Because the main conflict was so lacking, it's up to everything else to pull the episode up, and even when all that is good, the episode still feels very hollow. I think the reason why Spike was the least interesting part of this episode for me was because the story just plays the same notes that a majority of the Spike episodes play. He's put in a situation where he takes things too far, and everything goes out of control as a result. Gee, I've never seen that before. Ever. There wasn't anything about this episode's main conflict that helped it to stand out. Instead, it was so dull that everything else stood out while it faded into the background. In the end, this was just an okay episode. While the side characters and the humor were entertaining, the main storyline left a lot to be desired, which left the episode teetering on the edge of boring. Well, at least the anti-Twilicorn folks can't say that Twilight never does anything as a princess. So that's another episode in the can. Who's the next one gonna be about? Oh, I'm gonna have fun with this one. So what did you think of Princess Spike? Let me know in the comments below or hit me up on Tumblr. And consider supporting me on PayPal through art commissions or donations. Until next time, keep it sketchy, folks.